What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Real Deal Sports. We're back. Usual guys are here. Myself, we got brother John, brother Walt. It's early, but we here. We here. It's
We are
early.
here. Yeah.
Early morning. How you doing, fellas?
All good, man. No complaints. No complaints.
Can I say that it's like got to be a day in history today? The fact that John has a Chicago Bears shirt on today.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm a big
I'm
fan of
surprised
Brandon
you ain't say
Marshall.
nothing.
I've always been a big Brandon Marshall fan.
Why?
I mean, like,
Just curious. Just curious.
Look at everyone I'm a fan of. They're all big talkers. The Shannon Sharps, the ABs, the Kyries,
Are you a fan of Shannon? I didn't know that. Okay.
the Jonathan. I like people who stand out from the crowd. You know what I mean? Like almost all my jerseys are big.
the
Like
Butlers.
yeah, guys
So
who
why you ain't got a Russell Westbrook jersey?
I got Russell. I have Russell Westbrook shirts.
Oh, that boy, he's something else.
You funny as hell.
But
But
yeah,
hey,
I like guys who are controversial.
hey,
I
I
don't know
like
what
the
that says about
support.
me, but those are the
Yeah,
guys I like.
yeah.
Okay.
I like the support. I
Yeah,
see
I
you,
got a
bro.
couple Dwight Howards. Yeah,
Do you really?
yeah. I
Which
got his
which,
Rockets
which
shirt.
one?
I got his Atlanta Hawks shirt. I always choose. I also choose the most random teams too. Like
Oh,
never his. Yeah, but anyway,
Hey,
all right.
yeah.
Well, guys, game three happened last night. Golden State is currently down 1-2 to the Boston Celtics.
yeah,
Celtics won,
One
correct
six-
me if I'm wrong,
116
116
to
to
120.
100.
yeah,
And Boston, they did well. They were able to hold ground in that third quarter. We all know third quarter is Golden State's quarter, and they cut down on the turnovers, guys. They had a grand total of 12 turnovers to Golden State 17. And they just really out rebounded them, out assisted them. They out rebounded them 47 to 31, assists 28 to 22, points in the paint 52 to 26, even 3-point percentage. They were 13 for 35. Golden State was 15 for 40. So I mean, they did well last night. Even at the Golden State got them on the free throw line, 86 to 70, but they did well. They did well. They scored. And even with Tatum and Brown both came to play. Tatum
yeah.
with 26, Brown with 27. Even Smart got in there with I think he had about 24.
I
But
think. Yeah.
they did well, guys. So I like what I see out of Boston. Um, can they keep it up game four? That remains to be seen. They play tomorrow, which I think they should play Saturday, but the NBA, I don't know what they're trying to do.
They ain't been listening to us lately.
Yeah, yeah, because I'm like, how you gonna give them one day in between game three and game four? Because technically, if it goes seven, you still play next Sunday anyway. So, but what you got on it, John? I see you eager. What you got? What you got on it? What did you see in the game last night?
I saw one of the things that made the last Warriors great was being able to protect Steph Curry, being able to protect their shooters, and like you know what I mean. Like you can't let the other team get physical with your players. I mean, they had dogs, man. Sean Livingston, JaVale McGee, David. Oh, come on, what's his name?
David West.
David West. Um, whatever. Anyway, Matt Barnes. Like they had dogs, man. Who like if you hit Steph Curry, they would come in. They would make you think twice about your career. You know what I mean? You get a hard screen. You get it. They don't really have those players no more. Draymond is not the same Draymond. He's tapered off a little bit with his aggressiveness. And so Boston is able to get aggressive with them. Somehow Steph Curry is still the one getting it done, but we're seeing like I felt like they were more aggressive in game two, and then I felt like it kind of tapered off in game three, especially with Looney barely getting like 15 minutes, and then Draymond, obviously it's not a shot, but like like Charles Barkley always says, triple single, right? Like you can't come out and put up 6, 4, and 3 or whatever. If you're one of the best three players on your team. So yeah, just Clay finally showed up a little bit. He took 13 threes, hit 5 of them, which isn't bad, but it would have been nice to have a couple more of them. But I just think the aggression isn't there from the players who need to be aggressive. You know what I mean? Like Curry's hitting, man. Like, and he's not dropping 40-point games. I still wish I want to see one game from him where he puts the team on his back and takes over. We haven't seen that the whole playoffs, but he's doing what he needs to lead. But yeah, man, like Boston's just able to be great aggressive with him, and I'm not seeing that same aggression back. Like I don't see him pushing back.
Right. Go ahead, Walt. What you got?
Well, I guess we all were right last night. You know what I'm saying? We're picking Boston. We all predicted that Boston was going to win last night, over by 10 plus. I think John was the only one that said that was going to be close, possibly. But like you said, just Boston just being aggressive. I feel like that's definitely the advantage for Boston, especially with the referees not really, they're being a little bit more lenient with the foul calls, especially with it being in the playoffs, I should say. Like I said, Tatum and Brown, man. Okay, let me say it like this: when you got the Warriors, they have Curry and they have Clay, but outside of Curry and Clay, who else do they have? You feel me? Right. So
I mean,
Boston. So Boston, they have JT and they have Jaylen Brown. So I guess you could say they balance each other out between those two. But Boston also has Horford that can show up. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, Horford had 11 last night. That's more than what he had in game 2. Which he only had 2 points. And I was also talking about that with somebody else yesterday. I said if Horford, as long as Horford and Marcus Smart show up, Boston is going to win the series flat out because of the fact of the others on Boston are able to contribute more than the others on the Warriors. Like you said, John, Draymond, if you're supposed to be the third person on this team, you can't only score 2 points, bro. You had more fouls than you had points. You had 6 fouls and you only had 2 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Like,
yeah. I do think that's the difference is Boston's able to contribute on both sides of the ball, though, because I do think Golden State offensively has guys who could, like Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins, who can contribute more than Marcus Smart. But when Marcus Smart outscores them and is better on the defensive end, you got no shot. You got no shot.
Yeah. And that's another thing. I know I was saying coming into the series that Jordan Poole is supposed to be, saying an X factor, but honestly, Jordan Poole hasn't really been showing up like he has been earlier throughout the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Wiggins is showing up a little bit more. Game. You said what, boss?
Game 2 was his best game.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's like if Jordan Poole is trying to be the next guy. But with game 2, they was blowing him out though. I mean, like honestly, like
he put
they were front running.
He had a nice fourth quarter. Yeah,
pretty much. But by that time, it was over and done with though. You feel me? But I'm just saying, pretty much, as long as Boston's others keep stepping up. The Warriors don't have anybody else who can step up other than Clay and Stephen Curry, and that's going to be their problem. And like I said, the fact that they're so small, the Warriors. the Celtics be killing them on the boards. With Grant and Robert Williams. Robert Williams was balling last night, bro. Like his defensive presence was ridiculous last night, man. It was just. And that's why I say Boston. As long as the others show up and continue to show, at least give 10 plus 15 points. Boston got this series hands down, man.
Yeah,
and that right. Like Nico said, that's the key, right? Is you got to be up enough points to eat that fourth quarter, right? Like or third quarter, you got to eat that third quarter, right? So you got to be up like 10, 12, maybe even 15.
You really just got to keep scoring and alleviate the 3.
Right. Or in the third quarter, right. Make the most of every single possession. Don't ever take any possessions for granted. Make good shots on every possession, and that's how you. But the key to beating Boston, though, man, is we talked about it, and it worked in game 2. You have to make Brown and Tatum beat you. Do not let the others beat you. Do not
Enforce
let
turnovers.
you cannot have Marcus Smart go off for 21. Like we're talking about, I'm talking about Clay had a good game with 25. Like Marcus Smart had 21. Like he was 4 points behind Clay, who's supposed to be a way better player. So like
he was 1 point behind him. 20. He had 24. My bad.
Oh, 24. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you can't, you know what I mean? Like what are you gonna do when Marcus Smart and I'm not taking shots, but like Clay is offensively, light years ahead of Marcus Smart in a sense. So like you can't have your second best guy 1 point better than their third best guy, who's not even really their offensive go-to guy. Like he's more of a defensive stopper. So I mean, you have to make Brown and Tatum beat you. You cannot let these extras. We talk about the opposite with Dallas. Make the others beat you. Let Luka have 35. With this team, it's different, man. You can't do that.
Yeah, but go ahead.
No, I just want to say that's just another thing as well. That's concerning is they was talking about Curry's health as well. So I mean, I think that when he's going for a loose ball towards the end, I want to say the end of the third quarter, if I'm not mistaken, I guess Horford landed on his leg or ankle or something like that. And I guess that's why Draymond picked up his sixth foul because he heard Curry scream at the at the bottom of the pile. So I mean that could be also another contributing factor of how the series goes, is depending on how Curry's health is. Because I mean, let's be real, if Curry is not able to go, or if he's not able to his movement is not, he's not able to move like he usually move, this series is over and done with anyway. Because I mean, without Curry scoring, I mean, it's over with. It's definitely over with.
That's true. I can agree. But I think what Boston did last night, from what I could see, they when they would set the picks, they wasn't lagging back. They were closing that gap, and Steph had to come up, make a two, or dish it off. And I think that's really the best way to defend him. You can't give him space. Him and Clay, you get him space, you might as well just go ahead and count three. Cause they, and you saw with Clay last night, a couple times he had space off of pick and rolls or outlets, and he was knocking them down. So I think if you can just you ain't gonna stop him, but if you can make it hard on him, put a hand in his face. Don't let him get comfortable, like a quarterback almost. You have a chance. But I think.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go
No, I
ahead.
was going to say, but with Boston, they just you got to keep scoring. You can't just lag in that third quarter because you see what can happen. You can go from up 15 to down 20 quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, real fast, right? With both these teams. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
at one point, I think Boston came down and hit like 3 threes in a row, like 3 straight plays, something like that. I don't think of Horford as a dirty player, and I still don't. I think what made that fall at the end of the pile and all that stuff, like where he went on his roll his leg, is fishy was because like just earlier in that same quarter, I think he stepped under Curry's foot on a 3-point shot.
Yeah, when he got the 4-point play.
Yeah, and so I think that's what made it fishy was like, hey man, you can't get the same dude twice in the same quarter, like without it looking a little odd. But I don't know. I still don't think of him as a dirty player. I just,
I mean, but do y'all really think that was intentional with him trying to put his foot under his, the jump shot though? Like, I mean, it just looked like, in my opinion, like he was just trying to contest the shot. But I mean, of course, I know the rule is that you have to let him come down. But I mean, let's be real. Us coming up as defenders, that's Curry, and that's a big dude as well. He's trying to stop his momentum, and it's going to take him a little while to stop for real.
Oh, you're saying you don't think it was on purpose?
No.
Okay. Yeah, the only reason I don't think it was on purpose was because Curry was also running into that shot. Like he was running to the 3-point line. It wasn't just a catch and pop. But so yeah, I don't. But I mean, yeah, twice in one quarter. Obviously, people are gonna have like their suspicions. But
of course, people got to dig deeper than of course than what we dig. But I mean, I get what you're saying though. I get it.
But yeah, I mean, we just saw this not too long ago. I think with I think it was Curry. it might have been Marcus Smart who did it. Marcus Smart dive into Curry's leg just a couple months ago.
Yeah, I think they
Yeah.
first and second meeting. Yeah,
Well,
Yeah, so like that's the thing, right? Is like Boston. It's almost like it's not even Horford. It's Boston is and Smart's always had that, about it or hanging around his name. But like yeah, Boston's you get Curry 3 times. That people are gonna start asking questions for sure. But that don't mean it's true.
I get what you're saying, but I mean, if you really go back and look at all the plays, though, I mean, they were like hustle plays, though. Honestly, they were hustle plays. But I mean, like you said, going back to what I just said, so people are going to dig a lot deeper into it. They're going to be like, oh, well, are they trying to play dirty? Trying to give it? I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, I know that they were just hustle plays.
I would agree.
yeah, very true. So fellas, depending on what you saw last night, can the Warriors win Game 4 on Friday?
sure. Ain't got no choice. If they
Yeah.
don't, the series over with.
You think so?
They
They
have
go
the
down?
advantage of having 2 more games at home, but
Yeah, go ahead, John. My fault.
no, I'm just saying they do have the advantage of having 2 more games at home, but it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, I was about to say if they don't win this game here at all, they don't have enough firepower to come back from a 3-1 deficit at all. Especially like I said, I was just saying, Curry in his health. I mean, he said he's gonna play Game 4, but I mean, let's be real. I mean, they're gonna have to tape up his ankles probably, good hefty because what I'm saying, has had ankle problems in the past. You know what I'm saying? That was pretty much his his Achilles heel when he first got in the league. So. Yeah, so if they don't win it, it's over with. Because they definitely don't have the firepower to come back from 3-1.
Okay, all right.
I just want
How
these
about you,
games
John?
to get interesting, man. I just want them to get interesting. Like this is 3 straight. I mean, they've been good right up until the third quarter, maybe, but or the end of the third, maybe, but like these games have not. I don't know, man. I still argue that the Boston Nets series was possibly like one of the more interesting series. I mean, now there were some 7-game series that I'll say were better, but so a lot of these series, man, the conference finals, this series, like really the games themselves, each game like standalone, have not been just fun to watch. You know what I mean? So I'm just hoping for a better game. I don't really care who wins. I have no dog in this fight. But I just want to see it come down to free throws or final shot or something. But I actually think Golden State definitely can win this game. That's not a question. But I still like Boston by favorites by a hair. I just think they got a really good game plan and they can figure Golden State out. But Golden State, they need to play better defense.
So I got a question for y'all. It's kind of off topic, but it's on topic. So, if Boston if Boston win this championship, how much of the credit you think Paul Pierce is going to take for this?
None. He shouldn't take any.
I'm just saying, last night Paul Pierce was hyped, you know what I'm saying? Like it felt like he was in the game last night. That boy was just like, hey,
But you know what's funny? It probably brings him back to when they won.
I mean, I can dig it. I ain't gonna lie. It was just me trying to throw a shot at Paul Pierce. That's all it was. I ain't gonna lie to you.
No, but if he take any credit, Paul he needs every like, bro, stop. That time is come and gone.
Yeah, I thought Paul had big moves or something, and maybe he still does. He just ain't told us yet. But I thought he had big moves. He was playing with that whole move, leaving ESPN and stuff. I thought he was doing it on purpose because he had big stuff coming, and then he just kind of rode off into the sunset. So I don't know. Maybe he still got something going on, but we'll see, man.
I got a love-hate relationship with Paul Pierce, man.
What? Because of him and LeBron?
That too.
The rivalry?
Yeah, that too.
No, it ain't really a rivalry, but
it's not.
I would watch
it's not.
I would watch a Paul Pierce a podcast. I don't like him as an analyst. He wasn't an analyst. Like some guys just aren't analysts, and I think he Paul Pierce podcast like JJ Redick's or a couple other guys that do it Barnes and Steven Jackson. I that would be interesting. But yeah, I don't. Or he should just start some sort of league too, or go in on the.
You need to take his ass to the Big 3 league.
No, not play. I'm saying become an owner or something. You know what I mean? Like I want to see him.
Who the hell was going to want to go play for Paul Pierce, other than Boston fans?
You
I
could be
mean,
a
honestly,
minority
go
owner
look
like
at a lot of
Jordan.
the go look at a lot of the owners in the NBA, and if you actually get to meet the people, you probably wouldn't want to play for them. But if they're paying you
Okay,
enough,
that's facts. That's facts. I mean, but
I
let's be
mean,
honest. Do Paul Pierce got a lot of money like that though?
that's true. I don't know. I don't know what he does with.
I,
Well,
I'm sorry. We got
we do
yeah,
know what he does with his money because we saw the video, we saw the tape. So I was gonna say I don't know what he do with his money, but we do.
Hey, he might have put it all into that, that 75th anniversary code. So I mean, hey.
hey y'all,
All right, I'm
wow.
sorry. I'm done. I'm done.
We
Let's
kind of gave
He
Nico
put it
a
into his
segue.
75th anniversary code. Wow.
We kind of gave
Y'all
Nico a
dirty.
segue into the next one if he wants it.
Y'all
Talk about buying
dirty.
teams.
I told you it's a
Wow.
love-hate relationship with me and Paul, man. I'm sorry.
Y'all talking about heirs to the throne and all that. The heir to Walmart, Bob Walton, has bought the Denver Broncos for a record $4.65 billion. That's
Ooh, that boy in his
that's nice to
bag.
have, but he says he will be a part of all decisions with the Denver Broncos. So, gentlemen, what's your take on Walmart buying the Broncos? Pretty much.
I'm
Let's
not gonna
start with
lie.
you, Jim.
I live in Chicago and we don't have Walmarts like downtown. Like you gotta go out to the suburbs to go Walmart.
Yeah.
And then like all I ever see is like Amazon trucks going by. I legit kind of forgot there was a Walmart. Like these dudes are like some of the richest people in the world, and like I forgot there was a Walmart. I'm not even lying, bro. Like I was like, oh yeah, they're still around. Like Kmart. Like I just forgot they were around. Um,
Walmart,
they're
man, you
crazy.
out here in the south suburbs, they everywhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, on my trips here now, like I'm in there. Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, there's WalMarts everywhere. I forgot, but Chicago's all Target. Um. No, man. Like these guys are filthy rich, right? I think they say that if like all the money from Walton wasn't split up among his kids, like if all the money was pooled, like they would be either the richest or one of the richest like of all time. But so they got crazy money. I'm interested to see like how much he actually wants to say about the actual team. Because it's one thing to run a team financially; it's another team to be like, "This is our, this is our quarterback. This is right." So I do wonder how far down it actually goes. But yeah, I mean, if you buy something for that much, you should have say about how every dollar gets spent. But
Mhm.
but at the same time, like if you want to talk about who's actually going out on the field and playing, I would hope he has no say in that. But yeah, kudos to we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago about who was going to buy it. I think was it Magic who was on we were talking about, or Kanye and others, a couple people. Um, but yeah, it looks like Walmart came in and said, well, I mean, they raised they changed the market, right? They
Yeah.
I don't know what the last teams were going for. I thought they were going for under 3 billion. So now every team's probably going to go for like 4 to 5 billion. Yeah. So I mean, kudos to them, but it's crazy.
What you got on the wall?
Yeah. I mean, I ain't got too much, but I mean, like I said, just like John was saying, Walmart. I knew they were around, but I mean, of course, of course that I knew that their franchise was pretty up there, but I didn't know that they had long money like that to where they can buy a team. You feel me? So, um, but like you said, I mean, it's a good investment for him. He's still trying to. He got his Walmart business, and now he has a new team that he owns now. So I mean, money keep coming into the family. Yeah, that's how it look like, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? That's just gonna be
True.
generations and generations of him having money in his family. So kudos to Mr. Rob, and I'm just like you said, I'm curious just to how of how much he knows, I should say, about the NFL, since he is going to be involved with all of the decisions. So you say. So I mean, I wonder if he has somebody like a wingman or something that's by his side that might know the business or something, or if he's just buying it just because, like John said, he got money to do that. So
Yeah.
I'm more interested of the how how he's going to intervene with the players, the other people, the other owners in the league and stuff like that, and like how much his football knowledge. That's what I'm interested in, I should say. So,
Yeah, makes
but
sense.
yeah, like I said, shout out to him. And you in Denver too,
Good.
so
It's a good time to buy. You got Russell Wilson.
weed's legal out there in Denver.
Wow, that's where you're going with that.
The
But they
altitude's
didn't. I
high
mean,
too. Everything high out there. So
you think about it,
Hey,
though, Denver done, got a new everything, new head coach, new quarterback, new owner.
is
They
John Lynch
changed.
still up there? I mean, I know that's
They,
kind of my lack
nah,
of.
John
he's
Elway,
the general manager in San Fran.
Ooh,
John
shit.
Lynch, or John Elway.
I mean, Elway. I'm sorry, Elway.
Yeah, John Elway, I think, is still there.
I'm sorry, Elway. Yeah, Elway.
Yeah,
I said John Lynch.
all good. They both played in Denver. They both white. No, let me
Well,
see.
no, I'm just saying because I know John Elway was, making some of the decisions. Because I mean, I know he was like
Yeah,
what general manager or
I think
something
so.
out there,
I think
whatever.
so. But yeah,
I'm just kind of curious how they paths gonna cross as well. You know what I'm saying? Especially with
well,
John Elway being a football head. So
and that might be a decision they make. Hey John, we're gonna keep you around. You know, you know more about the sport than we do. But hey, it's big for him now. Denver Broncos gear are gonna be sold to all WalMarts.
It's a good sign for the NFL that someone with that kind of money believes in them going
They
forward.
gonna say, "Damn that bear gear."
right,
We got
it
the
don't matter
Denver.
what state you in, you're gonna have Denver. You're gonna have Denver
What
Broncos
the hell?
in that Walmart,
Yeah,
bro.
nowhere near Denver. What are they doing?
That's that's hilarious. I didn't think about that.
Right, big money. Hey, we gotta get this product out.
Hey,
You're gonna
that's
before.
it. That's a good way to invest, man. That's good money right there. Good
Speaking
way
of
to
John
invest.
Lynch, he gonna walk into like 49ers shop or San Francisco shop and see like
His
old
old
Russell.
jersey and a Nike.
No, you're gonna see Russell Wilson stuff. Cross channel. He's gonna see old rival 49ers fans are gonna see Russell Wilson jerseys at Walmart. They're gonna be like, "What is this?"
Right. Ain't this about a
That's tough. That's definitely tough.
Oh, man, that's messed
They gonna
up.
get away with all other teams. Like, hey, if it ain't Denver, you ain't rocking it. But you ain't bound it up in here. Like, okay.
I'm definitely interested and curious. Next time I go to Walmart, I'm curious to see if I'm gonna see some Denver Broncos stuff
Oh
in
yeah.
there.
Hey, Deshaun Watson, who?
Yeah. Shut up.
I think that they have like a lot of Tim Tebow jerseys. They're still trying to
Oh
sell.
God.
They're still trying to sell them.
Oh.
Like, hey man,
And
we
you
got
would and you
we got all
would
this.
say that with a number
I'm about to say
15 jersey on.
ain't no
We
way
got
in hell that they still trying to sell that. If you still see a Tim Tebow, you probably see him at like a Farmer's Mills or something like that.
no. They're probably like, we got all this excess stock of jerseys we never sold. Like, we got to get rid of these things, man.
Give them away to the homeless. They need them.
Low key, yeah. Why you don't just give them away to the local homeless in Denver?
Give it away. They need
It's
them.
new clothes.
Yeah,
It's new clothes to them, but it's old to us.
Yeah. True.
I saw a kid wearing a Josh Rosen jersey yesterday. I was like,
Really?
y'all jumped the gun on that one. You should have
Really?
at least let him play for like a year before you decided to buy that thing.
What was it? His pro jersey or his UCLA jersey?
No, it was this Cardinals jersey.
Cardinals jersey.
Wow.
Yeah, I hope they bought it for less than $50, but who knows?
Yeah. But all right, guys. Next topic: the LA Rams have signed Aaron Donald and Cooper Kupp to 3-year deals, both making those gentlemen very wealthy. I think Aaron Donald has signed probably one of the largest contracts for a non-quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, hey man, LA say, hey, we're gonna try to ride this thing till we can't. Try to get another chip. You already you lost Vaughn, but you got Bobby Wagner. You lost Robert Woods, but you got Allen Robinson. I'm thinking, for him, he wants to prove himself coming from
I
Chicago.
feel like Allen Robinson gonna be a key X factor for them next year, honestly, because he got
Yeah.
something to prove.
And I think, Odell is still out there. So, you still can have a 3-headed monster at receiver, with Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, and Odell. So, hey man, they lost some, but they reloaded pretty well. They reloaded. Now you got pretty much one of the best middle linebackers in the game, going from your arch rival now, to LA. They got him on a 5 year, I think a 5 year deal, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, they reloaded well. They reloaded well. They pretty much got the same kind of guys that they had before. So I think they
Yeah,
still dangerous.
I think Allen Robinson was a much bigger sign. I could be wrong, but I think it was a much bigger signing than people making it. This guy has,
Of course.
top 10 receiver potential on a given year. OBJ showed up to Sean McVay's wedding like a day or two ago, uninvited, and I think he's like, "Hey man, still here? No one
Right.
signed me, so just keep me in mind." But yeah, I mean, I like the moves they made. Obviously, Von Miller and wow, the linebacker they just signed. I'm spacing out, but
Bobby
they're,
Wagner.
yeah, by the way, they're two different styles of play, two different game types.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think it's good moves, and the great thing about Aaron Donald and Cooper Kupp is they're every down guys. Like they don't take plays off, man. They're every down guys. If they're not getting a sack or catching a pass, they're making a block. They're doing something to make something happen. So I'm really excited about the moves they made. And yeah, for the next 3 years, man, like I actually kind of wonder, like, do you put them now back in the favorites to run it back in the NFC?
True. True. That's true. But I think with Bobby Wagner, now you have that quarterback of the defense that they didn't have before. And
Yeah,
with him, and then, the good thing about it, he's played in that division pretty much his whole career. And
yeah,
now you signal calling for Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald and Leonard Floyd and those guys. That's
you almost did
not
have like
go
it's
ahead.
almost like they had like a two to three captain defense. You know what I mean? Like Jalen
Yeah,
could run the
the
back four,
secondary.
and
Hmm.
then Donald could run the front four.
Hmm.
So adding another head in there that could actually be bad,
Yeah,
but
that is scary.
I think I
But
like that these three guys are so professional that it's just going to get better.
but I think from Bobby's standpoint, he can see things Aaron can't see being on the front four, and he can see things that Jalen can't see being all the way. You
I
know,
agree, but you can have too many big heads. So, but I mean, I think these guys are going to be fine. I think they're professional. I think they know and I don't think they resign just for fun. Like I think it's legit. So I agree with you. I think it's going to be awesome to watch them play.
yeah. I think now I don't know how the defense will do. I think they can definitely be a top. I say top 10, top 5, top 10
They
defense.
better be. You got
Three.
Aaron
No, no, no.
Donald.
I'm just saying. What we got to talk about, like we did with the basketball. The others. Yes, you can throw away from Jalen Ramsey, but can that other corner be able to lock his man down? You can run away from Aaron Donald all day long, but can that other DN and D tackle do what they need to do?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see, man. I want to see a team come back with that. I forget what year it was, but that Seattle defense that beat Denver. I want to see a team with that kind of defense play again, man. Like, and I don't feel like no disrespect to the defenses since then. Like they've been great, but I want to see that team. That 85 Bears. That I want to see that team again. The defense wins championships type team. Like that's what I want to get back in those days. So I think this team has that potential to do it, but will they? And I agree, it's going to come down to the others. But I think
Yeah.
with this many leaders, they can bring those guys to that next level.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. So you guys pretty much said everything that needed to be said. Of course, about this topic. Cup getting signed.
He's saying we milked it. He's saying it's time to move on.
No, y'all did y'all justice. You feel me? But I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, what I'm saying, y'all re-signing Coop. I mean, Cup was definitely, of course, a big signing as well. And like you said, Donald is pretty much they gonna, like Nico said, they about to ride this wave for the next 3 to 5 years. You know what I'm saying?
And I would too, though. Like if I'm the owner or the GM for them, it's like This is your best opportunity,
It,
especially
it,
if you can get 2 or 3 out of it. I mean, two more or three more. Why not?
and I feel like that's what they pretty much trying to build for. They feel like they can still be title contenders. As you
Yeah.
said, it's just pretty much about the others. But I mean, honestly, they hold. I feel like they stack. The whole defense is stacked. The whole offense is stacked. Honestly, so I mean, like John
Yeah.
said, if it is pretty much playoff or bust for them. Honestly, let's be real. I mean, like you got pretty much three of the top guys on the defensive side on at their position. I mean, probably top 10. Honestly, be real. So it's either Super Bowl or bust. Honestly, for the next 3 to 5 years for them. Honestly,
Hmm.
because like I said, you have the talent. You have the talent, and there's no excuses. But like I said, going back to what I said earlier, I feel like Allen Robinson, though, he's probably going to be that X factor or whatever because of the fact of the position he's coming from. Coming from Chicago, no disrespect, coming from Chicago,
No, no, it was.
not really able to contribute
We
and
went
not
through a
really
lot here.
winning, right? What I'm saying? He went through a lot here, honestly. You know what I'm saying? So to actually get out, he needed a fresh start. So him having this fresh start with a Super Bowl caliber team, I feel like he gonna show out, honestly. So I feel like he's definitely gonna be an X factor. And like I said, that defense, man, that shit gonna be
'Cause
crazy.
This
I mean,
is
they
it's
got
pretty
Tyler
much
Rapp
his
still,
best team.
Fuller, like man, like bro,
This is probably the best team he's been on since being
absolutely,
in the NFL.
absolutely, and that's why I
Yeah.
say I feel like and like John was saying, these guys are gonna bring out the best.
Sorry, you talking about Allen Robinson?
Hmm.
Yes,
Where
You
was he
got
before the
drafted
Bears?
by
Was he a
Jacksonville.
Jaguar? Yeah,
huh?
He
right.
got
I was
drafted
gonna
by
say
I
Jacksonville.
mean, yeah, Jackson.
no, but I was gonna say that's a given, right? Like no one's questioning that. The Super Bowl reigning Super Bowl champs are the best teams he's ever gone to, and the only other two teams been on is Jacksonville and the Bears. I mean,
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like from
And I
you,
and I think he's back with Jalen Ramsey. I think they was
yeah,
teaming
because I
up
think they
before
started
he
oh
out
got
in
yeah,
Jacksonville together. Right?
yeah.
Yes, exactly.
right.
Yes, sir. So
Good
that's what I'm
call.
saying.
Good
He's
call.
getting somebody that he's a familiar face, but he's
Hmm.
having a fresh start. So that's why I feel like this is going to be kind of that's an X factor right there,
Imagine
man.
going against Jalen Ramsey every day in practice.
Man,
You either have to get better or else you just quit. You know what I mean? Like
simple as that. Simple as that. That's why I
True.
said, yeah, this Rams team, man, it's they look good on paper, and it's pretty much up to them to make sure that they keep looking good on paper, and make us as analysts,
And even Aaron Donald said in the interview he did after post Super Bowl, he almost got the LeBron mindset. Like, hey, I ain't got time to be trying to coach people up, rookies and stuff. He was like, I would rather
that's that
us
Ryan
get,
Tannehill, Ryan Tannehill mindset.
I'm about to say LeBron don't mind coaching up the young bucks.
but let's be honest, he's trying to win now. He's trying
Yeah,
to.
I agree. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I got you.
And Aaron Donald was like, look, as far as them picks, he was like, we don't have time to be coaching you up. Either you
Got you.
know what to do or you don't. And it's interesting to hear that from a football player because, people have always been like, why LeBron always get these veterans? Because he's like, hey, I ain't got time to be coaching you up all season.
Yeah.
Playing 82 is already hard enough. Same thing with football. Playing 16 is hard enough. But if you can't pull your own weight, it's a problem.
Yeah, there's the game inside the game, right? Yeah, some of these young players might be better at playing the game of basketball than
Mhm.
the older guys, but actually the game of the NBA, like you know what I mean,
Mhm.
knowing the NBA, it's more than knowing basketball, it's knowing the NBA, and like that's the same thing, right? It's like I don't have time to teach you NBA. You should know basketball by the time you get here, but like
True.
knowing NBA that could take years, right? And
Mhm.
but yeah, I mean, the Warriors are great at it. We've seen them. It took a couple of years, but Kevon Looney, Jordan Poole now are being those guys, and then they've got all that coming up. I mean, Kuminga and Wiseman, and but yeah. So
Cool.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I said Poole and Looney, but yeah,
Oh, my bad.
they've been in a couple of years now, so that they're there now, right? They're there where they can now start being the guys, but I was a little surprised we didn't play Looney more last night, but that's beside the point.
But you know what's crazy? Poole is only like 22, 23 years
I
old.
know, right?
Yeah,
So,
really.
under that tutelage, I could see him being like Manu Ginobili to the Spurs. I could see him being that version to the Warriors. Like, just Just play a role and you'll be straight. You ain't got to start. Sometimes it's best coming off the bench. You see, it worked out for a lot of guys. Always being a starter.
A lot of people don't have that mindset though. They always
That's
feel like
true.
if I'm
True.
balling like this, then I need to start. But I mean,
Right.
you're not really thinking of like how much your efforts can affect coming off the bench. You feel me? Like how much energy you can really bring off the bench, especially like if the starting five is really not doing the productive duties, I should say. But
Yeah.
yeah, but I get what you're saying though. Like you gotta it takes a different mindset to have that. You have to have a different mindset to be able to come off the bench and still knowing that you that dude and that knowing that you can start type.
Right.
But it's also a lot of guys who still think they own the bench, who still think they can start, knowing that they can't really start. So,
because I mean, honestly, Manu could have had that mindset. He like,
absolutely,
I'm better than Danny Green.
Absolutely,
but Danny Green might be able to outshoot me, but I could do everything else.
He knew that he was a better X factor coming off the bench, though.
Not saying that's how he thought. For anybody that takes this clip,
I like coming off the bench. I asked to come off the bench all the time. I like to sit and watch the other team for like 5 minutes and to see what they're doing. It's my favorite way to play the game.
I'm not gonna lie. In my younger days, I was like, hell no, I don't want to come off the bench. But now, yeah, I do definitely want to come off the bench for sure. So like you said, I need to study your game first, and then.
Yeah, I mean the NBA is a little different because like you've probably seen LeBron for 18 years. Like he ain't gonna change too much. But like in city leagues, when I'm seeing guys for the first time every week, like I want to see what they're doing. I want to watch. But anyway, yeah. So Manu's a special character though. Not everyone wants to do that.
Y'all consider him the greatest sixth man ever?
I think so. I mean, his ability to come out and play defense at a high level and offense at a high level
that is a great question.
I mean, that block on James Harden a few years ago and to end the series, and
he is in the top 75, right? We'll look that up. But I think he's in the top 75.
I probably say I agree with you on that one. I feel like out of all the six men, or supposedly when they started the 6-man role or whatever, I'll probably say Mano's probably definitely.
He made a career out of it.
Definitely did for sure.
Yeah,
and he won championships at the same time.
Absolutely.
So he like, we good. But gentlemen, someone that is not good is Donovan Mitchell. He was reportedly disappointed, unnerved, and unsettled over Quin Snyder's leaving of the Utah Jazz. Honestly, I feel like Mitchell's ready to go. That's what I really feel like. I feel like he's had it up to here with Utah, and he like, look, I'm gonna just go, cause it ain't working out here. He was like, I'm fired, pretty much all I knew as far as a coach. I don't really get along with Rudy from the reports. And it's like, I'm wasting my talents. Here. I need to go elsewhere. And I think Dame needs to have that same mindset, but that's a story for another day. But I think, I think he's ready to go. Now, where he's gonna go, a lot of people are saying New York. I wouldn't go there if I was him, because why put yourself in that hellhole? Not saying New York is a hellhole, but I'm saying they're not championship ready. You pretty much would be going from a playoff team to a team that's just trying to make the playoffs.
That I think was first in the West 2 years or just last year. Like
Hyundai Palisade versus Ford Explorer. Hyundai Palisade versus Ford Explorer.
Sorry about that.
I would agree. Palisade over Ford Explorer.
But yeah, guys, he just gotta go. He gotta find a contender and just go there. Maybe just thinking out loud, Lakers. I don't know, but he gotta find somewhere. If you want to stay in the West, that might be his best option.
The Lakers,
or unless Pop still down there in San Antonio. Unless you want to go to you want to go learn the game, go to San Antonio. I don't know. But
I would say you can't trade for Westbrook. He got bad beef with Utah, but So I don't know what kind of trade you'd make there, but yeah, I mean,
Lakers are committed on leaving Westbrook in the lake for Lakers for some reason. I don't know why. So that's not going to happen.
everything about Donovan Mitchell's reports, right? He doesn't like Rudy Gobert. This was reported. We don't know that he said this, and then also, it was reported that he was the reason Quin Snyder up and left. And then he came out and tried to get out ahead of it, or well, I guess not ahead of it because they already said it about him, but he tried to come out and say like, nah, like I didn't want him to go. I want to squash this now, like whatever. But now people are saying like, oh, he's just defending Quin Snyder because he's going to pretend like because they got rid of Quin Snyder, now he has an excuse to want out too. I don't know, man. I'm waiting to hear. I am waiting to hear what he has to actually say for himself before I speak on any of this, like to a certainty. But at the same time, like, yeah, I mean, speaking of Walt's favorite player on 2K, Jordan Clarkson, like he had a nice 6th man of the year. He had a nice little run. I think he won 6th man of the year just a couple years ago. Obviously, Rudy, defensive player of the year a couple times. I would 3 now. I don't even know, but but those days are. I'm not saying they're behind him, but I don't think his best defensive days are ahead of him. And then so this team is not a team that's climbing. It's on the backside of it. So you have to make some sort of a change. I don't know what that is, but I mean, the fact that you got beat by Jalen Brunson, and that's not a shot at Jalen Brunson, but I'm saying you got beat by a team who didn't have their number one player, and Jalen Brunson came out and torched them. Yeah, you got to make changes after you see something like that. Like that just can't happen. So I don't know if he's going to use this to leverage himself out, or if he can use it to leverage them to get him some help. I mean, maybe he wants to stay and do something there, but they need to prove it to him.
I agree. What you got on the wall?
Yeah. Honestly, I've been saying that Utah needs to make some changes. Honestly, just based off of their past playoff experiences that they've had. I feel like they've had the players and Quin Snyder. I felt like they had the team to go a little bit further than what they've been going these last couple of years. So, like John said, I was definitely expecting big changes, but I mean, like I said, honestly, at this point, it just seems like it's all state bad blood between between Donovan Mitchell and Utah Jazz. So honestly, at this point, it's just like, hey, where can we? I think is he a free agent this season, upcoming season, if I'm not mistaken?
I'm not sure.
He might have 1 year left on his deal, but regardless, I think we all know he wants a part of there. So, I mean, it's just pretty much where they're going to send him. If he's going to either stay in the West, like either he's going to stay in the West or he's going to East. But I've heard that he might want to go to Miami. I think, like you said, John, possibly. Well, I don't know if John said that, but like you said, Nico, possibly the Lakers. But I mean, I don't feel like the Lakers.
They saying the Knicks. I'm saying the Lakers should try to grab him.
Oh, okay.
He signed a contract for 4 more years.
For 4 more. Okay, so yeah, it had to be a trade apparently. So I mean,
but that wouldn't be a bad thing, though. I mean, for a team to get him, at least you got 4 years to do something with it.
That's true. That's true.
That's a lot of time to do something.
And that's what I'm saying. It's not like he's still, of course, he's still in the development stages, but it's not. I feel like he's a star, but he's not like a superstar yet. But I mean, I feel like if you put him around the right pieces, like I said, maybe a Miami, maybe even Philly. If Joel is still there, I'm not really sure about some teams in the West, but I mean, maybe he could go. Maybe he needs to switch it up and go to the East. So, but honestly, I don't know. Like I said, for Quin Snyder, the next move for him, I mean, like John was saying, could be Pop. But I mean, honestly, I'm not really too sure because what his next move is going to be. So
yeah, I heard he's currently the favorite to succeed Pop down in San Antonio. But I was thinking about that. Actually, their Achilles heel might actually be teams without their star player because last year they got knocked out by the Clippers without Kawhi Leonard. So Jalen Brunson and Paul George both did them in. Maybe that's their thing is they don't game plan well for number twos. But anyway, but yeah, he's the favorite to supposedly Nico's like, you're just making up fake stats. Come on, man.
I'm done.
I think he's laughing at the number 2s
We're
playing.
gonna wrap this up.
Oh,
Y'all.
I got you. I didn't catch that. Good ear. But yeah, he's currently the favorite to win. Take the pop spot. I don't know. Maybe he sits out a year and comes back and takes it. Who knows? Like this.
But that's the thing, though. Why would you want to go from Utah and then go to San Antonio, where you're going to be have to developing all of these young players? It's just pretty much you just going to be another losing season, in my opinion. So I mean, I don't know. I don't see why to go to Pop. Maybe I don't know, but I just me personally, if I'm Quin Snyder, I'm not sure if I would want to go to that San Antonio setup, knowing that it's not too much. I'm not gonna have too much down there, especially for the next up and coming years. Honestly. So I mean, other than Murray, but let's be honest. I mean, Murray, he's not gonna be able to just get it done himself. So I don't know.
Yeah, makes sense.
I mean, hey man, they let Derek White go, man. He's been balling out.
Well, that boy been balling ever since his son been born. He's been balling out.
Well, they say too. They say Frank Vogel is a candidate for the Jazz job. So maybe San Antonio and Utah switch coaches.
Yeah, he deserves another shot somewhere. There's a
To
lot of guys
Vogel or Snyder.
There's a lot of guys in the league that say they learned from Vogel, and the reason they're successful is because of Vogel. So, I don't know, man. That's a weird situation.
Though, when Indiana was was challenging the Heat, he was the head coach there. So that's something to think about. Paul George became Paul George in Indiana before he moved around. But last topic, guys. Mr. Watson.
Back to Cleveland again.
Mr. Watson has another 2 young ladies come forward in his, I don't know what you want to call it. It's not domestic, but in his, sexual assault allegations. I don't know, guys. I'll be surprised if he plays at all this year. Just with all this, it's like a dark cloud, over Cleveland right now. And it's like did Cleveland bite the bullet too quick, and not to let all this stuff develop? I'm not sure, but I think it would be best for him not to play this year. I mean, you only lose like what? You only making $1 million anyway, so you wouldn't be making really none of your money. I think it would be best for them to figure it out before he takes a snap under center in Cleveland, because it's really a fight you're not trying to have right now, especially with the Me Too movement and all that. And then they say it's like up to like 66 different women that was giving him massages in that 17-month period.
That's the thing, right? Is like, even if he wins the appeal and all that stuff, like, I think what this does is just delays it, though. Like, you know what I mean? So no matter what, he's going to miss games just because now, like, more people come forward. Like, it's definitely going to delay it into the season. I kind of wonder if you're Cleveland, like, you're not telling your players, like, hey, don't say nothing about Baker yet, because he might be your quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, let's not just go on. Let's not like praise Deshaun for being you don't want your receivers come out and be like, oh, finally we got a real leader. Someone, right? The Kyrie.
That's the thing with this whole situation, though. It's just my fact of like they cleared him. Like he's proven not guilty of all charges, but they're still trying. They're still trying to look for more stuff to bring to the table. When I say they, I mean the NFL. So that's what I'm saying. I'm just confused on the part of how is he cleared of this stuff, but they're still trying
I think more people are coming forward because he was.
But that's the thing, though. Why does he have to be held up for something that he was already cleared of just because more people are coming up, though? You feel me? And I feel like that's not. I just feel like it's not fair at the fact that they're holding it up and they're prolonging it so long to where towards now that they're going to make him possibly miss this whole season because of the fact that the NFL is doing this investigation with something that he was already proven not guilty for. So, I mean, And from the sounds of it, it sounds like it wasn't really. I won't say it's he. It was others that was in part of it. Meaning, when I say Houston Texans, you know what I'm saying? Because it seems like it hears that sources say that they had some type of involvement as well with setting up, like, some of these massages and the hotel room. So I think, like I said, me and John was discussing this, and when I say this, what I'm saying, I'm not trying to say like me personally, this is what I do, but I'm just saying me thinking if I'm watching, what I'm saying, I'm just saying, like, if I have my team set up, this massage, this personal massage or whatever, physical, whatever, me thinking like, okay, yeah, I'm going in here just to get a massage, but also, it could possibly lead to something else. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I just feel like it's not just Watson's involvement, it's others' involvement too. And I just feel like it's a lot of he say, she say, and I just feel like they're just prolonging this process so long. And it's just, and like I said, this is no disrespect to these women, that, because like I said, if it happened, it happened, whatever. But like I said, at the end of the day, the court said the man was not guilty. I'm just still not seeing why they're just prolonging this.
Believe it or not, I'm not a lawyer, but like it's the same with like a lot of other things, like we saw with like OJ and stuff. Like, listen, there's not enough evidence. There's like, I don't know, I forget the names of the courts, whatever, but you go to like going to jail court, right? And it's like there's not enough evidence to send you to jail, but where there also is like a financial court, which is like which is where OJ had to pay money, right? And that's what this is. It's like they're taking him to court now, I think, over money and not right. So they said, listen, there's not enough money and evidence to send him to jail, but there is enough evidence where this is not going to go away unless you pay these people. You know what I mean? Because you didn't do nothing. So I think that's what this is, right? Is now they're gonna, like, okay, he's not going to jail, right? You didn't get him on that, but I think now he's got to go back to court too, and they're going to testify because they're at least going to make him pay.
I get that, but why hold him up from doing his profession though? I mean,
because if he gets found guilty in this one, no, I agree with you. The NFL is dragging its feet. I agree, but at the same time, now you got more people come forward, so now the NFL is like, they feel justified by dragging their feet. But it's like, no, you drag your feet. Stop making excuses. But if if he gets found guilty in this one, people are still going to be like, then okay.
At the end of the day, he's still going to be able to play though, regardless if he gets found guilty though. I mean, it's just depending on how long his suspension is going to be. Regardless, I see what they're trying to do. It's about the money, but at the end of the day, he's still going to be able to play football regardless. It's just the fact of whenever he comes back from his suspension. So what's the point of prolonging all this? Just to get the money. I mean, maybe it's just a hold up on Watson because he don't want to pay him because he feels like he wasn't wrong in the situation, which I get, what I'm saying, whatever. But I just feel like this whole situation, man, it's just ridiculous, man, in my opinion. I mean, and I'm not just saying that as a Cleveland fan, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, it is bringing a bad look to Cleveland, though, because of the fact of, what I'm saying, we got all this BS going on now. We don't know if we're going to have a quarterback. We still got this nonsense going on with Baker, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, we're a little nerve-wracked right now because we really don't know who the hell is going to be our leader, come next season, in the next couple months, honestly. So, I mean...
Yeah, they told Baker, don't show up to OTAs, rest up
that arm. That's what I'm saying. They excused Baker from coming to minicamp next week. So that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, who does that leave you with? That just leaves you with Jacoby Brissett and Josh Dobbs. So, I mean, at this time, I mean, you might have to go a route of, okay, well, if Watson's season is going to prolong, shit, we might have to look into a free agency of maybe bringing in, I hate to say it, I want to say hate to say it, but a Cam Newton or, what I'm saying, somebody of that caliber just to at least get us through the season, I should say. I'm not saying that Jacoby Brissett can't do that. I mean, because, we do have the defense to where we could possibly win a couple of games just based off defense, but at the end of the day, we still need to score. And you can't just keep feeding Chubb, feeding Chubb. You can't just keep feeding Chubb because at the end of the day, that's going to take a lot of toll on Chubb. But not saying it's just Chubb, though, because we do have money.
Can I ask this, though? As far as Cleveland, right? Let's just say, hypothetically, they asked Deshaun, hey, is it only these 22 women? And Deshaun was like, that's all I know of. Hey, after this, we good. Who's to say Cleveland didn't jump the gun because they figured that was it. And now, when it's up to 66 different women that were giving you massages over a year and a half span, pretty much one a week, a new woman a week, right? Who's to say
But maybe they
Deshaun
was thinking.
lied? Deshaun might have lied, or Cleveland just was like, "Look, we're gonna take a chance on him," not knowing the backlash that might come.
But
Well,
that's
so
I
these
was just gonna say it could be a short term loss for a long term gain, though. You feel me? Like if you saying that they jumping the gun, and what I mean by that, yeah, if they did, might have known. Maybe they knew that they were going to maybe lose Watson for a year. But I
So
mean,
we did know about these women. They just decided they've already accused him in the past, like
Well, I'm saying that's only 20,
publicly, but they
22.
didn't.
You got a
But they
whole
didn't.
nother 44 left, and
Right,
they
but
could say
a lot
anything.
of them came out. But a lot of those women also came out and said that they had no issue with him. So that those aren't all.
Right.
These aren't all people testifying. Only two more came out to testify, and both of these they already knew about. And they said, listen, they came out publicly, but they said they didn't want to get involved in the investigation. And then they felt like they said that they felt like he was getting away with it. So that's why these two women came forward. So I think that Cleveland did know about all this stuff. I think they didn't, obviously, I don't think anyone expected, maybe they didn't expect more people to come forward. They thought like that was it, whatever. But I just feel like the NFL is dragging its feet. Like I said, I think it's a disservice to the women. I think it's a disservice to the Browns fans. I think it's a disservice to Deshaun if he's found innocent. There's a lot that's.
But I think also the NFL is in a
doesn't
win.
already know.
I think the NFL is in a lose-lose because if they take too long, they're dragging their feet, and if they do it too fast, it's like you didn't let all the stuff develop. So it's really a lose-lose for the
that's what I feel
NFL
like.
as far as that
Right,
goes.
but they should have met with Deshaun like a couple months ago. That's all I'm saying.
They should have. I agree.
Before they allowed anybody to sign him, the NFL should have met with him and whatever talked
But
about
no,
his career.
but that's the thing, though. He was still going through that other trial through that time. He couldn't talk to nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Because he was still going through the trial of before he just got proven not guilty for. So I mean, I think even if the NFL was wanted to, I don't think they could have possibly talked to him about that certain situation because of the fact of that investigation that was already going on.
But
I
it
would.
seems like if he's found guilty, like they could destroy one of their own teams, right? Because people aren't going to criticize the NFL; they're going to criticize the Browns.
Exactly.
Right? The Browns are going to take a lot of
Especially
heat
with the court of public opinion.
Right. So the NFL allowed something to happen that they could have gotten out ahead of, and instead they're allowing the Browns to take all the heat for it. So I don't know. Like I just because this could destroy the Browns for the next 10 years again. That's all I'm saying. Like I feel like
I won't necessarily say it will destroy us only because, like I said, if
it would be a bad look, though.
It will be a bad look, but like I said, it will only be a short term loss, though. If you think about it, like I mean,
but if he can't play at all,
it will only be not for a year, though. That's what I'm saying. We still have him for a whole another 4 or 5 years.
I think what you're not understanding what John is saying. I'm saying it could be a lot. It can get a lot worse.
I completely get what he's saying, but at the end of the day, I mean, that label is going to be over his head, regardless if he wins or loses or not. Though, I mean, let's be real.
I'm not talking about if he wins or loses. I'm talking about there's a slight chance. It's very small. But there's a slight chance he never plays again. And if that happens, I'm saying the Browns.
If they take it that far, then I mean, I just feel like that's just going like beyond. I mean, honestly, I'm not letting him play football again. I mean. No, something that he was proven not guilty for, though. Like, I mean,
I'm not debating all that. I'm just saying there's that chance that this could destroy Cleveland for another 10 to 12 years.
Right. Now you done gave him $250 million.
Right. This is
in that case, then the NFL will be destroying Cleveland. And honestly,
I agree.
You're right.
You're right. This could, this is stepping in and saying Chris Paul can't go to the Lakers level. Like this is like shift changing, like moves that like when a league is coming in and allowing things to happen. So that's why I think they should have gotten out ahead of it. I'm not saying publicly, but I'm saying the NFL privately should have met with Deshaun months before they allowed Cleveland to do
I
that
agree too.
and take all the heat for it.
It's like you can't sign them and you can't trade them until we talk to them.
Right.
Almost like you're on the exempt list until we talk to you.
And Cleveland's at the top of that list. You know what I mean? Like, listen, okay, now that as soon as we open up the all right, boom, he's free to be signed, whatever. Cleveland had first dibs, whatever, because of previous agreements or whatever. Like, I'm just saying, like, you could do all that behind closed doors without leaking it, and instead they allowed this all to happen. I think the NFL is alone is to blame, not the Browns. You know, but that's my opinion.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. This is NFL doing its best, and when I say its best, I mean its worst.
And by the way, if this and the John Gruden thing don't ruin Roger Goodell, if he's still in the league next year after all this,
Well, you got to factor in the Texans and that's
what I'm saying. That's another thing. That's what I'm saying.
Because hypothetically, right, if they knew about this and they were helping him do these,
that's fair.
You know, set up this stuff. Whoever's the owner of the Houston has to trade the team. I mean, has to let go of the team immediately. Almost like what was the owner of the Clippers? His stuff came out.
Don or
I couldn't remember.
He was pretty much talking about, you know, he had, you know, we know what he said.
Donovan,
you know, he had to let go of that team immediately. The NBA was like, hell no. You got to trade him. Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
So,
That's true. I think the Texans could deserve more blame than the Browns.
This could be an avalanche kind of situation.
But I still just, you know, first off, NFL's got to pay John Gruden off, or they got to pull the Hillary and just delete your emails. Because you know, I mean, I don't know how Roger Goodell keeps his job after this, but anyway, that's all I got on this.
Yeah, same here. Well, take us out.
Yep. Hey, well, this has been Real Deal Sports. This is your boy Big Walt here. My boy Nico Suave over there looking suave in the mug. My boy John, the hardest working man in showbiz right now. Rocking that.
That boy got a Kim Tebow version. I see you, boy.
Hey, we appreciate y'all watching. Make sure y'all subscribe, comment, like. You know what I'm saying? You know, get in tune with us. Like I said, intervene. Let us know what y'all think as well. So, you know, we'll love to debate with y'all live or, you know, off live, whatever. Yes, don't matter. We want y'all to, like I said, intervene in the show. So, like I said, we appreciate y'all watching tonight. Well, this morning, I should say, not tonight. This early morning. And we started y'all day off right. So, hey, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. And hey,
all right, you can go back to bed now, Nico.
No, I wasn't even asleep. I was actually getting ready for the day, man.
That's right.
We appreciate y'all.
Look at that line Nico got going. Hey,
boy, stay crispy.
And when we hit 1,000, I will allow Nico to carve something right there.
Chicago Bears C right on your chest.
All right, yeah, I'll allow that. It has to be YouTube approved.
Walt, you got to come record it. Yeah, come on back.
I got you for that. Yeah. I definitely have to show up for that, for sure.
So, but y'all got to sign up. We moving up, but we need 1,000.
We got to put number 15 in John head too, Brandon Marshall.
I won't hate that.
Hopefully,
it's got to be somebody he doesn't like.
Yeah, I'll hate the 5th. Yeah,
Luka.
Oh my goodness! Here we go.
77. Hey, that boy.
Speaking of Walmart and Luca, we were walking through Walmart here in North Dakota yesterday. I'm up visiting family, and there was a girl wearing a Luca shirt, and I'm like, these bandwagon people be everywhere. What is this?
I mean, let's be honest though. I mean, South Dakota really ain't got a basketball team, so they can root for whoever they want to though.
I'm just saying, man.
Well, if you being technical, I guess
it's just he's like I feel like he's the new Tony Romo. Like you see girls just walking around. You ever remember when girls were walking around wearing Tony Romo jerseys all the time back in the day? It was a big deal. I didn't get it.
You got a point.
But now,
Tony Romo was the quarterback for America's team. You can't say.
I was about to say any
and
person.
They're both Dallas. That's a good point.
Yeah, I was about to say any person that was on Dallas. I mean, they just always thought they were so good.
Maybe girls look good in that blue and silver, and that's they just, I don't know. All
I
right,
think that might have been the best part. Was the
Hey,
cheers?
Are we still live?
Yes,
we are live.
Oh, I'm like,
We got to cut this. We got to cut this.
because I
All
was
right,
gonna say
subscribe,
something. I'm like,
share,
oh, wait.
like.